In the headlines, again, bandits invade Katsina community, killing 5 and abducting 5 others. Makurdi residents decry prolonged stay of internally displaced persons in IDP camps. Federal government warns the United States other foreign missions on security advisories as Canada probes embassy fire. On the foreign scene, United Nations warns of colossal tragedy as Gaza fuel runs out. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Katsina as bandits have again attacked Sayaya community in Matazu local government area of the state, killing at least 5 people. The incident, which took place in the early hours of Tuesday, came barely 24 hours after an attack on a Maulud procession where at least 25 reportedly killed. Matazu and Musawa are neighboring local government areas where some of the victims of the Maulud attack came from. Now, a resident of Sayaya community who said his father was among those killed in the incident told newsmen that the attackers conducted a house-to-house raid in the community, killing 5 people and abducting several others. He says the terrorists also rustled domestic animals and carted away valuables during the operation. In a statement confirming the incident, the police spokesperson in Katsina State, ASP Abubakar Sadiq, says 5 persons were shot dead, 2 were injured, and 5 others were kidnapped by the gunmen. The injured were rushed to the hospital for immediate medical attention. The Commissioner of Police in Katsina State, while condoling with the families of the attack, urged members of the public to bring forth information that will aid in the investigation, or rather that will help aid the investigation to come forward and assist the police as efforts are being intensified to ensure safe rescue of the kidnapped victims and the arrest of the perpetrators of the dastardly act. Well, a little earlier, we spoke to Trust TV's Abdullahi Ahmed, who gave us an update.
Over 100 bandits carrying dangerous weapons surrounded Sayaya town of Matazu local government area of Katsina State, where they killed 5 people Monday night around 10 p.m. And of course, 14 people, including women and children, have been abducted in the process. And among the abductees are 2 pregnant women and an infant. The bandits ransacked the town, and of course, they went to house searching for money, domestic animals, and other valuables. Anonymous Sayaya residents told Trust TV that even though the presence of security operatives has restored their hope, but already hundreds of their people have relocated to other places perceived safer. To many residents, the bandits are launching these attacks after 2 or 3 months of accelerated peace, just to show that they are around. They are capable of launching attacks. In a nutshell, they are just trying to show that ground, and of course, this is just a show of force. The Secretary of Vigilante Group in Matazu local government said the bandits are launching these attacks to frustrate the current effort of Governor Diko Umaru Rada of dwarfing the elements. He, however, said all the security agencies in the area have resolved to coordinate themselves and make a very formidable synergy that will ensure peace in the area. And of course, they are on a rescue mission now to rescue the kidnapped victims unhurt. The Katsina State Police Command, in a telephone chat with the police public relations officer, confirmed the attack at Sayaya town.
Our correspondent Abdullahi Ahmed there with an update on the recent attack by bandits in Katsina. Now, troops attached to Operation Safe Haven have neutralized 4 bandits and arrested at least 19 suspects, including kidnappers, cattle rustlers, and armed robbers, in a series of raids on criminal hideouts across Plateau and Kaduna states. The operations were carried out between October 29 to November 5, 2023, according to the Nigerian Army in a statement on his social media handle on Tuesday. The commander of Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, reiterated the resilience of the troops while seeking the continued support of citizens of Plateau, Kaduna, and Bauchi states. He added that all the suspects in custody would be charged accordingly once investigations have been concluded. Well, Benue State is dealing with a humanitarian challenge as thousands remain in camps after years of being disconnected from their ancestral homes. Their continued stay in the camps is generating concern among residents of Makurdi, who say there is a need to rehabilitate and relocate internally displaced persons back to their homelands. Jimmy Azande reports.
Benue is one of the states in Nigeria struggling with a humanitarian crisis that has impacted the lives of over 1 million people. The camps that were designed to provide temporary shelter have now become home to those displaced by violent conflicts. For some residents of Makurdi, the time has come to reconnect all internally displaced persons to their ancestral homes and give them a sense of belonging.
Recently, the Benue State government, with support of international organization, is undertaking a biometric exercise. But in all of this, the government has to come up with a deliberate policy towards resettling the internally displaced persons, beyond just giving them cartons of Indomies, giving them fish. The people in IDP camp really want to fish on their own, and any policy towards supporting them should be geared towards resettling them, should be geared towards building the security of the villages.
Some of the respondents say the practice of giving handouts to IDPs is not sustainable and can lead to an overdependence on the government for everyday needs.
Palliatives, enough of palliatives. What the government should do is ensure there's security, and then create an enabling environment for the economy in those places to thrive. Those that want to go to farms should have security to go to farms, provide seedlings, those that are fishermen, provide them with what they need, to fish.
Many say restoring peace across volatile areas and moving the displaced population back to their homelands should be the target for both state and federal government, as this remains the viable option that can help the IDPs lead meaningful and productive lives.
Right, so it will be difficult to meet all their needs, but when we provide them with basic amenities, water, food, clothing, hospitals or health equipment and facilities to ensure that they are able to live life to the full.
It has been 5 years since over 1 million residents of Benue, now regarded as IDPs, last saw their villages after persistent attacks by herders. For the IDPs, the long way to go back home continues. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Now, agriculture development is taking a new shape, with regenerative agriculture taking over conventional means of food production. This disruptive new thinking is gaining traction across the world as Nigerian stakeholders champion the approach as a solution to revitalizing the agriculture sector in the country. Noel Sampson has more.
Nigeria's agriculture sector is in need of significant revitalization that will help diversify the economy. This is why the new thinking on regenerative agriculture is being welcomed by stakeholders in the industry. The elements of this new initiative focuses on soil protection, improvement, biodiversity, climate resilience, and water resources, while making farming more productive and profitable.
The soils in Africa, especially Nigeria, is really exhausted, with most of the nutrients gone due to too much of planting crops year after year without putting back additional nutrients into the soil to keep it healthy. So our soils are degraded. The soil health, lacks biodiversity, micronutrients, and we have a challenge. And through regenerative agriculture, we use specific practices which helps to improve the soil health and reduce soil degradation.
The willingness is there, What is needed is for government to put in investment in extension and advisory services so that technologies like this are scaled out.
The new invention is fast becoming popular with industry players, and governments at all levels are set to key into the system.
There's going to be a new a summit on agriculture as well as National Council of Agriculture. At that meeting, the various subsectors of agric will be discussed, including this new generation agriculture we are talking about.
We're looking at it from the angle that helps us build sustainability across a more friendly climate environment. With a more friendly climate environment, we're able to save more money in addressing those climate impact issues. So for us, that might be where we are also looking at working. Now we're encouraging most of our farmers to also take a lot in mixed farming. Now with mixed farming, we're able to see where the cattle, the animals are able to produce waste that is also used as manure for the crops.
Regeneration is the natural process of replacing or restoring damaged or missing cells, tissues, organs, and even entire body parts to full function in plants and animals. Scientists are studying regeneration for its potential uses in medicine, such as treating a variety of diseases and injuries. This is fast becoming the future of agricultural development to meet the growing demands of food production and address climate change. Nigeria is now joining the trend. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Malagi, has cautioned the United States mission in Nigeria and other foreign missions in the country against putting out what he described as needless security advisories. The minister told reporters in Abuja on Monday that such advisories have far-reaching implications on the general polity as well as the country's economy. Malagi said the federal government is not resting on its oars to ensure that every inch of land and every citizen, resident and visitor in the country is safe and secure. On November 3rd, the United States alerted its citizens in the country of a, quote, an elevated threat to major hotels in Nigeria's largest cities and urged its nationals to consider this information when arranging lodging or visiting major hotels across Nigeria. However, the minister says such alerts were needless as President Bola Tinubu was eager to get Nigeria back on track. Now, in a related development, a day after an explosion at its Nigerian embassy in Abuja, which led to the death of 2 persons, the Canadian government has begun a probe of the incident. Canada also joined the United States and the United Kingdom in issuing a warning against non-essential travel to Nigeria. On Monday, the High Commission witnessed a fire outbreak that killed 2 persons and injured 2 others. Shortly after the incident, the Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly issued a terse statement on X, mourning the victims of the explosion. She said they are working to shed light on what caused the situation. Also, Canada's High Commission in Nigeria said on social media that it had temporarily suspended operations until further notice. However, the Commission was silent on Monday's explosion, issuing a travel advisory and warning against non-essential travel to Nigeria, including the capital, Abuja. The Canadian mission blamed the decision on, quote, the unpredictable security situation throughout the country and the significant risk of terrorism, crime, intercommunal clashes, armed attacks, and kidnappings. Now, the bilateral relationship between Nigeria and Ireland has received a boost from the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who committed to building stronger ties with the European country. The minister made the comments while hosting the Irish ambassador to Nigeria, Peter Ryan, in Abuja on Tuesday. Speaking on the theme of the visit, Wike says Nigeria enjoys the bilateral relationship with Ireland, and the FCT administration will leverage the relationship to promote job creation, improve education and agriculture while seeking stronger partnerships with Irish investors in the country.
One of the major things from Mr. President in terms of his Renewed Hope agenda is try to create job opportunities for the teeming population of the youth. And he said, I see it is very key. We think that we will be interested in partnering with companies from Ireland where we can build like an ICT hub for the interests of the youths, so as to reduce the level of unemployment.
The Irish missionaries made a special contribution in the area of education in Rivers and right across this country.
Now, the Nigerian Senate on Tuesday has urged the federal government to work with the United Nations and other countries of the world to ensure an immediate ceasefire in the ongoing Israeli-Hamas war. The lawmakers also urged the federal government to press for a two-state solution to bring an end to the conflict in which thousands, including women and children, and aid workers have been killed. The resolutions followed a motion sponsored by Senator Adamu Alero and co-sponsored by 43 other senators. Alero said the casualty figures in the war have become horrific, saying if it is not ended immediately, may lead to World War III. Other senators contributed to the debate, condemning the killings on both sides and called for an immediate end to the killings across the region. Well, you're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, we tell you why the famous Zaria Tannery is going out of business. More on this and many other stories up ahead.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira X rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to...
Since central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast. The number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security, as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
Welcome back to the news. Here's a quick reminder of our top stories. Again, bandits invade Katsina community, killing 5 persons and abducting 5 others. Makurdi residents decry prolonged stay of IDPs in camps. Now, the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, has called on the newly posted corps members in Batch C Stream 1 to Borno State to be ambassadors of national unity during an orientation course exercise, swearing in the new corps members in the state. The governor, represented by the head of service, Malam Fanami, at the swearing in of 824 corps members, tasked them to be committed, diligent at their place of primary assignments, and most especially contribute to the growth and development of Nigeria. He also noted that the commencement of the NYSC scheme in Borno State has signposted the return of peace in the state while maintaining that the state government will support corps members in the state.
Our pledges and commitment to the corps members remain unshakable. Accordingly, I hereby approve the following items as a palliative support to our corps members during your orientation exercise. 100 bags of 50 kg rice, 100 bags of 50 kg rice, 100 bags of 10 kg beans, 15 jerrycans of vegetable oil, 10 bulls. You must have proceeded several years agents of national unity and integration.
We are very fortunate because His Excellency always goes ahead of us in meeting our present demands as it relates to core members' welfare needs, even before such requests are made. As I speak, engineers have concluded assessment of the NYC Permanent Orientation Camp in Maiduguri, awaiting the next line of action by the result-oriented administration of Professor Babagana Umara Zulu.
If you distinguish your selling, you shall not go unrewarded. Many core members in the past have written their names in gold and created positive image for themselves. I urge you to stay in Borno State, not to relocate to another state.
I don't have any regret in anyways returning back to Borno. And you can see the core members are happy. They are ready to stay and give their dues. Last orientation camp, when we returned them, there are a lot of apprehension from parents. What will happen to them? But I'm sure later when they heard what the government have done and from what their children have told them, I'm sure we have not recorded any relocation. They are still serving in Borno.
Now, the decline of local manufacturing industries in Nigeria is becoming alarming as more sectors are being impacted by the current economic downturn. Traditional tanneries in Nigeria have been part of the leather-producing value chain, providing thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in revenue. In the northern part of Nigeria, the tannery business goes back hundreds of years. And in this report, Bello Musa tells the tale of a dying industry that is blessed with abundant materials and talents.
Zaria's tanneries are some of the oldest and most successful in the business. For years, this industry has sustained the lives of thousands of people through direct and indirect employment. The old tannery was relocated from Zaria City to Kofar Kuyambana as a result of urban renewal work that affected the old site. A quick look at what used to be a booming business with global connections showed visible signs of a falling giant.
Gaba ɗaya yanayin aikin namu ya zama ya gama lalacewa ma dai gaba ɗaya aikin nan namu na jima.
We are experiencing low patronage. We would buy the skin and tan it, but there are no customers to buy from us. We had foreign customers, but they stopped coming now. The market is bad. Despite its declining fortunes, this old tannery still provides a handful of tanners with the necessary tools and facility to earn a living.
Yanzu sana'an da yanzu ina gami da zaka zo ka tadda gidan nan akwai ma'aikata mun fi mu 50.
We were more than 50 in this house, and each person would tan 50 animal skins in a day. Yet, we would not meet the demand in the market. However, now you can see how deserted the place is. Although it is only a matter of time before this tannery becomes a relic of Zaria's history due to modern advancement in tanning, many believe an intervention could have saved it from going out of business through protectionist policies of government.
Although
insecurity is affecting tanning, but lack of government support has also contributed as well. We don't have capital and modern tools to do our work effectively. Moreover, the importation of polythene bag and other products from China has reduced the use of skin products in the country, and this affects us as well. Zaria tannery is dying. We need government support to produce quality skins.
Zaka ga an yi leda mai ƙurzuni irin bayan kada za a yi na irin damo.
According to available data, the sector, which is largely dominated by the northern Nigeria, attracted over $645 million in the last quarter of 2021. While all the recipes for success remain available, local industries like this will be missing out of the billion-dollar industry if something urgent is not done to revitalize the sector. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Very sad development there. Now, still talking business. The Naira has crashed against the dollar on Monday, falling to 1,030 Naira per dollar on the average in the parallel market, losing the momentum it gathered last week. This represents an 18 Naira loss or 8.42% decline of the local currency compared to the 950 naira to the dollar it closed at last week Friday. This is also the first time the naira is falling since the central bank began to clear some of its FX backlog last week. According to the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators in Nigeria, Aminu Gwadebe, the dollar has gained against the naira because people who had bought it at a higher price are resisting its fall following the Central Bank of Nigeria's move last week. The foreign scene, the United Nations says no life-saving fuel has been allowed into Gaza since the October 7 attack, risking the lives of 2.3 million Palestinians as essential services close. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says 1 month since the start of the war, a tragedy of colossal proportions is unfolding. United Nations agencies warn the collapse of water and sanitation services will spark bouts of cholera and other deadly infectious diseases. Most of Gaza's 65 sewage pumping stations and all 5 of its water treatment facilities have been forced to stop operations. At least 10,328 Palestinians in Gaza have been killed in Israeli attacks since October 7. In Israel, the death toll over the same period stands at more than 1,400. On average, 134 children have reportedly been killed across the Gaza Strip on a daily basis since the war began. At least 4,237 children have been killed by Israeli forces since October 7, according to the Health Ministry figures. Well, that's all the news for now. Feel free to check back a little later at 9 o'clock for the day's bulletin. But for now, follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more of our contents. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.